Today is a learning day. We are going to be learning about St. Brigid of Kildare, who is also, it gets very complicated. Roddy, thank you for gifting us up to St. Brigid. I'm sure she'd appreciate it. She has that's St. Brigid does not have a shuriken. We're 5 minutes in. We've been here 5 minutes. Wait, bro, Jules says I have a first class relic of St. Brigid, a piece of one of her bones at home. Is it a piece of her skull? Because I know her skull is one of the only things that's accounted for. They brought her head. Okay, we're jumping ahead a bit here. I can't lose the head about this. What do you mean? No, I don't have part of her skull. Yes, Purple Blur, she died. She lived like 1,500 years ago. She's definitely dead. If she isn't dead, it's a hell of a nun, to be fair. No, hell of a run, not hell of a nun, although she was a hell of a nun. Why on earth do we care about St. Brigid? Why does she matter? Why do you care about this saint who is based on a goddess? Let me tell you. St. Brigid was a consecrated virgin. She became of her own doing, of her own desire to do so. Honestly, to be honestly, slay. Fair play to her. A man named Bakane said to her, now write this down, the beautiful eye which is in your head will be betrothed to a man, though you like it or not. Essentially, you're gorgeous and you're going to marry someone whether you want to or not. Disgusting. What do you think she did in response? Now think of it. Killed him, kicked his ass, ate his face. She poked her finger into her eye and she goes, here is the beautiful eye for you. I deem it unlikely that anyone will ask you for a blind girl. She's just like, no. Oh wait, no, I forgot, I haven't written down here. I forgot she did harm him. She goes to your man who was at her, soon your eyes will burst in your head. And as she said it, his eyes burst in his head. Do you know the one about Brigid and the blanket, the cloak? So she wanted to set up a convent in Kildare, and she was like, I need land. So she goes to the king and she goes, come here to me, king. There's a forest. It's where we can gather stuff we need. We can grow stuff on the land. Like, it's brilliant. It's perfect. And the king goes like, no, I'm not giving you any land. Go away. She takes her cloak off and she goes, okay, will you give me as much land as my cloak covers? And the king kind of goes, fine, yeah, sure. The cloak starts to stretch. Bigger. And bigger. And bigger. And bigger. And bigger. And it keeps going. And it keeps going until the point where the king is like, would you stop? Now, I don't know if that was all of Kildare, all of Leinster. It was huge. Huge. She covered everything with the cloak. She goes, right, well, for your greed, give us the land for the convent. And he goes, fine, have your convent ground. And soon afterwards, he converted to Christianity. He began to help the poor. He became a good and better person. And he helped with the building of the convent. And he brought his whole life back around, you know? Imagine just being a regular person in the rest of Kildare. And you just see this massive cloak. Geez, you know, if we kept this, we wouldn't get as much rain. It might be all right a few months a year. I think you're starting to get the idea of why she's interesting, why she's important. But if this doesn't drive it home, there was a nun who had taken a vow of chastity. She went out gallivanting with a lad and she became pregnant. And she was mortified. She was having none of it, exactly. She goes to Brigid. She's like, I've ruined everything for myself. Now, I am going to read for you, word for word, the quote, the exact translated words from the hagiography. A certain woman who had taken the vow of chastity fell through the youthful desire of pleasure, and her womb swelled with child. Brigid, exercising the most potent strength of her ineffable faith, blessed her, causing the child to disappear without coming to birth, without pain. She faithfully returned the woman to health and to penance. Can you think of any reasons they might not teach you that in school? Don't call it Fius Deletus. She made a mistake. She made a mistake. She didn't want it to actually happen. And she just made it unhappen. Never look at a man again. Women, however, listen, all I'm saying, and this is none of my business. None of my business. Details of what people did on St. Brigid's Day were not really recorded until like the last couple of 100 years, if even that recently. And it's the moment you've been waiting for. This is one of them. Now, they don't always have 4 legs, arms, Pointy outy bits. What else we got? Is there any? Oh, what a fine selection. Look at that. Look at that. This is what I'm talking about. Oh, we're getting fancy now. I've never seen this. Oh, geez, lads, budget cuts. We've got 2 up here. Do we reckon there's a which St. Brigid's cross or you quiz? Which St. What am I doing? This will come as a terrible shock to everybody. But there is no which St. Brigid's cross are you. About the year 878, owing to Viking raids, Brigid's relics were purportedly taken to Downpatrick and reburied in the tomb of St. Patrick in Columba. The relics of the 3 saints were said to have been found in 1185 by John de Courcy, and on 9th of June the following year he had them solemnly reburied in Down Cathedral. They're said to have remained in Down Cathedral until 1538, so that's a good couple of hundred years, when the relics were desecrated and destroyed during the deputyship of Lord Grey. He was a piece of work. Anyway, a rascal. It was all destroyed except Brigid's head. Her skull was saved by a clergyman who took it to a Franciscan monastery of Neustadt in Austria. So her head was smuggled out, essentially smuggled out of the country and brought to Austria for safekeeping, because they were like, geez, it'll be safe there. Until it was given to the Church of the Society of Jesus in Lisbon by Emperor Rudolph II, where a frontal part of her skull is still venerated. Now, I'm going to see if I can get a picture of this. Her skull, you can just about see it there. Another part of the skull could have already reached Portugal in the 13th century, so it's disputed whether or not that was given then or if they had it already. The Archbishop of Sydney in 1884 gets a relic of the saint's tooth and gave it to the Brigidine sisters in Melbourne. It does seem like an odd prize. It's like, all right, lads, come here to me. I went all the way from Australia to Cologne and I brought you back a tooth. It was at first peremptorily refused. They were like, no, you can't have a tooth. You can't be, no, go away. I then had to invoke the aid of an influential canon of the Cathedral of Cologne, whom I had assisted in some of his literary pursuits, and he set his heart on procuring the coveted relic. There was a whole operation to get this tooth. Like, gets turned away, he's like, all right, I'm going to call in some favors, and I'm going to get the enamel, all right? I'm going to get it. Jeez, getting this thing through customs sounds like pulling teeth. In 1905, Sister Mary Agnes of the Dundalk Convent of Mercy took a purported fragment of the skull to St. Brigid's Church in Kilcurry. In 1928, Fathers Timothy Trainer, and James of Carroll requested another fragment for St. Brigid's Church in Killester, a request granted by the Bishop of Lisbon, Antonio Mendes Bello. Everyone's like, geez, can I have a bit of her tooth? Can I have like a bit of her skull? Can I have some of her calcium, please? We need one of her teeth. Come on, they got a tooth. Can we get a tooth? Come on. Men will trade around pieces of a long dead woman's skull instead of going to therapy. Oh, I just got recommended an article. I didn't get what I was looking for, but 3 days ago, demand for St. Brigid's crosses higher than ever, says Louth grandmother who's keeping the tradition alive. Let's go, Louth grandmother. Where does the Fire Association come from? So I'm actually not too sure. I think it's to do with the melding of the pagan goddess and the Christian saint together. St. Brigid Fire. Now, I know I'm Googling, but I know what not to click on. Oh my god, the first result is the Brigidine sisters who have her tooth. They have her tooth. They canonically have her tooth. I want to see the tooth. I want to see St. Brigid's tooth. I searched for tooth on their website and the only thing I got was cleaning up oceans and waterways. I want to know. I want to know what's happening. Where did the tooth go? Does St. Brigid have dental care? Like, I am so tempted to contact us. Safik, where'd you see this? Did they bring the tooth back? We must know the truth about the tooth. A portion of the relic was brought back to Ireland in the 1930s by the Brigidine sisters in Tullow, County Carlow. That's now being moved to St. Brigid's Parish Church in Kildare, where it will be housed in a specially designed shrine. Oh my god, we found the... I say we, you found the tooth. A relic of Irish Saint Brigid has returned to her hometown after 1,000 years away. Hundreds of people gathered in Kildare on Sunday morning for a special church service to mark the historic occasion. When was this? Mr. Mongie joked that the relic may also bring luck for the county's Gaelic football team. Geez, we might win the All-Ireland now, he said. Oh, I think it's this year, because it says 2 years ago the Irish government announced a new bank holiday for the country would be named after St. Brigid. So it's 4 days. They only just got the Is that the tooth? Why do they never have a picture of the tooth? Where is the tooth by? Where is it? There it is now. Now, this is a lot of excitement. I don't know if you're ready to see the tooth. There it is. They put a scarf on it so it wouldn't get cold. It's like a little tree. Actually, that's quite nice. It's in a little tree. I put your tooth in my Polly Pocket collection. Do not put St. Brigid's tooth in the Polly Pocket, although... it'd probably be safe. It looks a bit big to be a tooth. I'm not trying to doubt here, but like, in the 1930s, the Brigidine sisters in Tullow procured a portion of the Lumiere relic and brought it back to Ireland. So it's a piece from the Lumiere relic. Yeah, here it is. It says, a relic of St. Brigid, a fragment of her skull. It's not a tooth. I kind of want to, I'm not being funny, like I actually want to email them, like respectfully, not like a haha funny, like I actually want to know where the tooth is. Inquiry, how do you start an email that's like, inquiry about St. Brigid's tooth? So I need some very, very serious email writing music. Da 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 da. I have massively distracted myself from the email I'm trying to write. He refers to a relic of St. Brigid in the form of a tooth being held in St. Martin's Church in Cologne. Part of this was obtained in 1884 for the Brigidine Convent in Sydney, Australia by His Eminence Cardinal Moran, Archbishop of Sydney. Part of the tooth. This is what the inside of my brain feels like right now. Let's run over this again for a second. Archbishop of Sydney goes to Cologne, gets a piece of the tooth, brings it back to the Brigidine sisters in Australia. Separately, a piece of her skull ended up in Portugal. The Brigidine sisters in Tullow, in County Carlow, got a piece of that skull and brought it back in the 30s. That's different. Which means the tooth is still in Australia. So now, instead of asking if they have a fragment of it, we have to ask just, do you still have the tooth? Because this brings us back originally to, there is no picture, there is no photo evidence of that tooth existing. There is no reference to this tooth on the brigidine.org.au website. What is the truth? Attempts were made to determine the current location of this hard-won relic, the tooth. The Brigidine sisters did have the relic, but it is no longer in their possession. Where is the tooth?
What do you mean there is no tooth?
There's no tooth! I think, or maybe it's we have to find the tooth. Listen, let's be real for a second. The likelihood is that it just went missing. But where is the tooth? Sapphic in Space says, Cake, the sisters responded to my email. You emailed the Brigidine What did they say? What did the Brigidine sisters say about the tooth? Dear Amity, I have been a Brigidine sister for more than 50 years and educated by Brigidine sisters. I have never heard mention of this relic. I would seriously doubt the veracity of the claim. It is certainly not in our archives. I am sorry to be of no help. Where is the tooth? The Cardinal wrote about the circumstances in which he obtained the tooth in a letter to Reverend Mother. I went all the way to Cologne on my return from Rome in 1884, on my appointment of Archbishop of Sydney to secure a portion of the precious relic of St. Brigid, preserved there for over 1,000 years. The relic is, if I remember all right, a tooth of the saint. Check in with Cologne. Oh my god, wait. Does the parochial church of St. Martin still have the rest of the tooth? We have to call the Vatican right now. Everybody just take a moment, okay? We've gotten very invested in this, okay? Take a moment, just. Truly, every day I hope for such excitement. Yesterday, we spent 4.5 hours playing My Horse Prince, the mobile game. Today, we're looking for teeth. Much of St. Martin's Church in Cologne was destroyed or lost during World War II, so they don't have any St. Brigid's relics. Hang on. Did they blow up her tooth? They blew up St. Brigid's tooth! Wait, Templar Warden, hang on, you're making a very good point. He must have given them a relic. Why else would he write to the Brigidine sisters saying where he got it? He must have given them something So it doesn't matter. I mean, obviously it matters that, like, it matters for a very different reason that this got blown out. But it doesn't matter to this particular thing. They said they had no archive, but it says the Brigidine Archives, New South Wales Province, has a digital copy of the letter as well as a transcription of the letter. So they did receive the letter. They were, oh my god, I'm losing my mind. So they did receive the letter. There's no reason, like, they have no reason to receive the letter at all. If they hadn't received a relic, they got something. What is the truth? How are we all doing tonight, lads? How are we all feeling tonight? Aliens meme, but with Cake going, wait, what's, hang on, I have to get the, this. Tooth. Teeth. Teeth. We need to find the tooth. We might find the tooth. And if we don't find the tooth, we should make a new tooth. Do you know where St. Brigid's tooth is?